welcome back to Ben Outdoors, and I'm pretty sure y'all saw the thumbnail, and I'm pretty sure y'all saw the title. I got a deer. Okay, so, let me go ahead and tell the story because, it's easier to do it this way because for hunting, I'm literally for like 100 hours sitting up in a tree stand freezing and not talking.
There will be adult supervision.
So, yeah, and I also can't like film what's going on because obviously I don't want to spook the deer. And I'm only in a 10-foot tree stand, almost eye level with the deer because, yeah, it's not the best place. So it's not like good for videoing. It's not like I'm 40 foot up in the deer and they'll like never see me. I'm not like that. So yeah, I couldn't really video, so it's best just to talk.
I have to make back that 100 hours of talking time that I lost.
So, so we're gonna start way back. So, y'all know where I had the deer feeder at. If y'all haven't seen 1 and 2, you go ahead and check those out before you watch this one. Maybe you don't have to really watch 2, but the 1, you definitely have to watch that one. So, the deer weren't coming there at all. Just at night they were coming, and they were there for about 7 minutes, and there were, a buck coming here and there, and then those are the does right there. But, I had to move it farther into the woods, and actually completely move it into the woods, because obviously they weren't coming out there because we had just cleared that land out. It was pretty close to the road, and so I moved into the woods, and they weren't coming for like a week. I thought, until I figured out my trail cam was broke. And then I had to send it back, don't worry. It was like $30, it was a cheap little trail cam. But yeah, we sent it back. Actually, you know what? It might have been 60. But anyway, I sent it back, and my dad has a trail cam that like sends pictures to your phone like in 3 minutes or something. Oh man, I don't know, it takes like 1 to 3 minutes for it to send to the phone. So we have that on our driveway, because I'm a famous YouTuber, you gotta have the highest modern security. So we had to move that, away and put it in the woods so we could actually figure out what's going on. And there were deer there that night, even a buck. The next day, there was a little scraggly little buck, and then there were some does. But then in the morning, not in the morning, no, it's just straight back. In the evening, just like 40 minutes, or no, about 10 minutes before legal shooting hour, they were out there. And then they kept scooting closer and closer till they were right there where I could legally shoot them. So I go out there, and I'm sitting out there and nothing comes. I do that 2 more times, still nothing there. Like, I would go hunting, I'd come back home, 5 minutes later there'd be deer out there, and I was so frustrated. Because, yeah, it was pretty bad. And so I go out there one day, and I'm sitting there in the tree stand, and I see a deer walking through the bushes, and my heart starts beating, and I'm just like sitting there, I'm not even breathing fast, but my heart's like beating really fast. I'm like, is this even healthy? Like, should I breathe fast? Like, I didn't know what to do. I was more concerned. I don't know. It's crazy. And so I watch it walk out, and it's almost, I see it, and I'm like, okay. And so I have to turn my camera on because my phone storage isn't that great. So I have to turn it on, and then I don't see it. And then, it's pretty thick until the spot that I cleared out. But then my mom comes down the driveway and scares the deer away. I don't know. I guess they've never been there when, cars come down the driveway. So I'm like, they'll be back. 5 minutes later, it'll take the deer about, 5-10 minutes to, feel safe. 5 minutes later, the UPS guy comes down the driveway. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, could it get any worse? And it didn't. Well, actually it did, because the deer never came back. So then I went home kind of sad. But it was exciting, Well, after many more evenings of hunting, about 4 or 3, I go back out there with high expectations. And I get out there, and the wind is blowing in the direction. So I'm here, the deer feeder's here, the deer come from this direction. The wind was blowing in that direction, which is absolutely awful, but I poured some dope pee out on the ground, so maybe that would help just a little bit. But I was just knowing a deer wasn't coming, but I was just gonna stay still because. And so 5 minutes before legal shoot, it was end of, shooting hours. I couldn't shoot no more. I was like, let me just get up. So I'm like, all right, let me just leave. 5 minutes left, literally 5 minutes. So what's gonna happen in 5 minutes? Well, I get out of that. Okay, so I had my little pew-pew strap hooked to the deer stand, and I unhooked it.
I'll do this very, very slowly.
I hear something, I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounded like a deer. And 3 deer just took off running, and it was one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I was so mad, and I texted my friend that I was hunting. He's like 40 minutes down the road, and Josiah, he was in that video, I texted him and said, I just spooked deer. He's like, what? And I called him, and I told him what happened, and he was like, oh man. And yeah, so then I went home very disappointed, and I was pretty sure the deer weren't going to be out there because they knew where I was, which is a big problem. It's like, it's pretty bad because now the deer know where you are. And so I don't go hunting for a few days, just waiting for the deer used to come back. They started coming back. So I get in my tree stand, and I am determined to get a deer today. You just got that little feeling. And so I sit out there, and my back was really hurting really bad because I'm just sitting straight up, and when you're doing that for like 2 hours, your back really starts to hurt. And so I'm just doing like that. Well, I did that, every 20 minutes or something. And I knew the deer were going to be here from now to 10 minutes, because in 10 minutes it was going to be like legal shooting hours. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have to suffer extremely. I sit there, and I know I only got about 3 more minutes. And then, it's dark, but let me tell you, it's not, it's still legal. I would not shoot a deer if it was illegal, I promise you. I don't want to get my hunting license, I want to keep my hunting license, is what I'm saying. I ain't gonna shoot past legal shooting hours, get my hunting license suspended. That's kind of dumb. And so, like, okay, I literally got 3 more minutes, and I can't, like, if I was out in the field, I could see, but I'm in the woods, so it's way darker in the woods. And so I see something, I'm like, gosh, I do not remember that bush being there. And so I'm like, is that a bush? That's a deer. Is that a bush? And then, they were brown, so you can't really tell. And then I seen the deer though, and look at me. I'm like, it's over. It is over. And then it goes back down, starts eating the corn. I'm like, thank God. And then, so then I realized, okay, that is deer. Because they were still, I wasn't sure what it was. But then when I seen them moving, I was like, okay, yeah, that's deer. And so I take aim, and I aim for that area, that area right there. And I squeeze the trigger. And then, boom. And that deer goes from like this to like this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even believe it. But then I'm like, uh-oh, there's still 3 more deer out here. My dad told me to shoot as many as you can, so I stuck with the memo. And so I see another deer, and I swing my pew-pew around, but I could see its tail, and I could make out its body, but I was like, you know what, I really don't want to injure this deer and just make it run all the way to our neighbor's property and have to drag it out. And so but then before I had to finalize my decision, it took off. So then one deer ran this way, one deer ran this way. Well, then that deer right there, it was running back and forth. It was kind of confused. I was kind of confused while it was confused. I mean, so then I'm like, okay, it's pretty dumb. I could probably get this deer. And so it's really dumb. It takes off kind of running towards me. It gets like 30 feet away from me, then runs. And by that time, my dad had came out there with the headlight, and he went like, let me know he was here. And that whistle stopped that deer, and it looked, and I'm like, here we go. And bang, that thing takes off running, and then my dad's like, whoa, and then we hear it fall. And, well, here's the footage from that.
What's going on?
I just dropped one deer, and I think I hit another one. Oh my gosh, and I could barely even see him. And I just squeezed the trigger, and I shot, and then one ran off, and I tried to get a shot on it, but I couldn't. And then another one was running away, and then it ran 30 feet away from me. And I was so shaky, and then I think I shot that one too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think you got two. Here, all right, safety.
It is, it's not
All
safety.
right.
Oh God. Oh my gosh.
It's definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Are you going to hold the camera? Are you cold or nervous?
I both. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Check right there. Okay, it might just be.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Is it dead?
Oh no. Did you shoot this one twice?
No.
So you shot another one?
Yes.
All right, let's find that one.
Wait, can we make sure it's dead? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, can't move
Oh,
it.
where'd I hit it? It got, it was, you know. No way. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Shine the deer.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
I hear something.
here. Go where the other one was. Where do you think that?
Wait, blood. It's blood.
Here, this one's still running. Then let's catch it. Or give it a second.
Yeah, let's just give it a second. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at all that blood. When you see that much blood, yeah, when you see that much blood, you know that that deer is going to be, oh my.
Oh, what is that? Oh, is that blood? No.
No, that's just, look at all this blood.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Let's try to find him. Oh, there he is. There he is right there.
Oh my goodness.
It's a young one.
Yeah.
I think it's still breathing. Yeah, he's dead. You only shot twice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness. That's a small one, but those are good to fry.
That's awesome. Oh, he's a baby. Is that a buck? He's a little buck. Is that a little button? No.
No. Look at all this blood around here. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad we found out before it was dark. We'd have had to really search.
Look at all this blood. It looked like it might have took a tumble right here. Oh, like that is crazy. I mean, for what, 100 yards, it looks just like that on the ground. That is crazy.
All right.
That was a long shot with those bubbles in it.
Yeah. The first one got to the ground though, huh? it feel, deer slayer?
Well, it feels good, you know? Scratch it off my bucket list. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay. Next time, get one with little antlers.
A little something right here.
Yeah, a little something.
Oh, what do they do?
That's good.